to my channel. So I've got these guys here with me. Do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ibby.
Hi, I'm Karen.
Hello, I'm Temi.
And I'm Bernie. I've got these guys here because we're going to do a video on the medical school interviews. We're just going to share a couple tips and advice about the day, planning for it and just preparing for it. So if we just get started, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just start off with, if you guys could just say where you had your interviews.
I had interviews in Aberdeen, Glasgow and Kiel.
I just had an interview at Aberdeen University.
Same as me as well, just Aberdeen.
Same as Benny and Karen, just Aberdeen.
You only need one. That's why you only need what resources you use to like practice and plan for your interview. So I'll just start off. Oh, sugar! I had the book. I was going to show you the book. I use this book, Medical School Interviews, and I also use. When I say I use, I kind of like don't really use it. Let me be honest. But my main thing I used was a website called Medic Portal, which I found amazing. I'll link it here. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. The Medic Portal. It was really good. It was really good. Looking at it today, and I was like, oh my god, it looks terrible because I was just like, I kind of tore it out from like the thing where it was. It had like my little medical school, hopefully I get in kind of book. But look, it literally says the date I had my interview, 15th of January,
That's
2016.
So cute. You should keep it.
And
Yeah,
like
you should.
all the
Look at it on
it looks
graduation
terrible,
day.
but anyway, all my notes, I made too much notes, wow. But anyway, I was ready for any question. I kind of like just practiced it just in case, like they asked me any questions, I was kind of ready for it. So yeah, those are the resources I used. What resources did you guys use?
Use that book.
Did you use this
But
book
I
as well?
read it, like it became my
Your
become my
Bible.
Bible, but yeah, I took it to work. Yeah,
I feel like it's
pretty
a
much
good
used
book.
just that. To be honest,
I feel like it's a good
I
book.
didn't know about the Medic Portal, and I definitely didn't go on. What's that thing? That student room. I don't think that would have been helpful because
What
that just
student room?
stresses me out. You know, in the student room,
A
people
lot
say,
of people
"Oh,
talk
this."
about
Oh,
yeah, no,
I didn't use
I wouldn't
that.
advise
That
student
was-
room. It's
no.
very panicky.
No.
Like
And it's very subjective.
Yeah.
it is.
I say go for something like this or a website that's dedicated to like
Yeah.
interview preparation.
I was kind of different. Like, so I bought
Trust
the
her to
book.
be different.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
So I was like, I
Sorry,
bought the
I'm
book, but I read it kind of, but I kind of relied on. So I had a friend, Alicia, who's at med school, and then I had an aunt who's a doctor. So I relied on them. So they pretty much just helped me through the whole process.
So you use mainly their sort of advice and then this as a supplement?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be a very useful book because it's even got the MMI ones, which I thought any original book probably wouldn't. But yeah, I thought.
Yeah, but another thing that was really good with the book is because then it'll give you like typical answers that everybody says and just sounds a bit- So it tells you like you probably shouldn't say
say that.
But then they tell you, okay, you could say this as an example, but they say, oh, don't. It was really good because they tell you don't rehearse, but this is something you might want to avoid.
Yeah.
So the book was good for that.
Generally, on your day of interview, what kind of like tips would you give for some like this is the day of the interview? What tips would you give?
This might be the day before. I know you're probably going to be stressing and thinking about the interview, how it's going to go, but the last thing you want to do is not have a good night's sleep or be stressed and look stressed. So I'd say, as silly as it sounds, get a good night's rest or as best as you can and have something for breakfast. Even if you don't eat breakfast normally, but just give yourself that energy. Because with some of these interviews, you get there in the morning, you might not even know what time you're actually going to get interviewed. And because of the nerves, you most likely wouldn't have appetite. And then you don't want it to get to your actual interview and then you're tired and not very awake. So think about all the hard work you've put in all that time.
You
It
don't
all
want it to
comes
go
down
to
to
waste.
that day.
Yeah, true.
So I'd say, you know, at least try and make sure that you're alert
You're
so
well
you can
prepared
answer the
on that day.
questions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because it's not just interviews. Some unis like they take you on a tour, they
Yeah.
tell you about the
Yeah.
university. So it could probably be a whole day thing, even though your
Definitely.
actual interview is at a set time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And I would say as well, just like make sure you've got your whole support network set up, like around you. Ideally, I would say like if you can, grab your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or your boyfriend or whoever to come with you on the actual day. But if not, just have like make sure people know, and so you can call them afterwards. Like whether it's good or bad, it's just good to have people around you to like keep you sane, because you can sometimes overreact about like the smallest thing, and they'll just remind you that no matter what happens, it will be okay in the end.
yeah, I guess I didn't have anyone that came with me, but like my mom was literally following me every step of the way, literally.
In terms of what you wear, that was obviously important to be smart, because Why are you laughing?
No, because I just know what you're gonna say. It's okay. Keep going.
Well, it's good to be smart, and it's because you need to look professional. And as a doctor, you will be, professional in a professional role. But you need to be comfortable. So I remember I came like trussed up in some like blazer and like trousers.
Oh, did you?
That's what I was saying to you. You don't need to
It's
be
like-
like
You don't
Serious.
need to be so
be smart.
And I had
yeah.
heels that were way too high.
Yeah.
I was just so annoyed.
Please, why did you have
I
heels?
don't know. I was trying to seem grown up, you know.
Yeah.
I
Don't
had my
be
little
us.
heels, but they were
Don't
too
be
high.
I was so uncomfortable. So like literally just you just need to be comfortable.
You need
You're
to be
already
comfortable.
stressed with all the questions, everyone
True.
looking at you. It's just like
True.
no.
Yeah.
And I would also say don't kind of try and force it. So if you're someone who wants to wear a suit, fine, wear a suit if that's you. But don't feel like you have to.
wear a
Like
suit.
kind of let it, kind of dress in a way that fits how you normally would. I don't know if that makes sense.
Do you mean like express?
Express,
what-
thank you. Yeah.
Express yourself, but to
To a certain extent. There's a limit. Like we said before, it's a professional role. So yes, you need to express yourself, but you also need to realize that other people are looking at you and you're going to be perceived a certain way. But that doesn't mean at the same time you need to restrict yourself so much. So I guess it's up to you, but to find a balance.
Yeah.
So something that you're comfortable in, but that other people look at you and be like, okay, this person is serious. This person actually wants
this. Yeah. Do you know what? In worst case scenario, honestly, just get black trousers
Yes.
and a top. Like, don't come and wear bright pink.
I
With
think-
bright colours, I don't know.
I'm on the
It's
side
nice,
of caution.
Yeah.
You can wear bright colours once you've got into medical. For now,
That's what I think
It's
on the
true.
day. Just keep it
Just
calm.
keep it white,
calm.
black, blue, creams,
every
neutral.
day.
Do you know what?
Neutral.
That's why we're wearing black, because Ibby wants us to wear
Yes.
You can never go wrong with black.
But don't worry, Karen's a birthday girl, so she can wear
black. So
cream.
she can wear different.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
I think as easy it is for me to say, relax, in terms of someone said, I can't remember who said it to me, but they just want to find out more about you as a person.
True. I
So you
agree.
need to be confident in what you've got to bring.
Absolutely.
And so as soon as you realise that, you know what, I will be a good doctor, I will be a
Amen.
good student, then, you know, you're going to be fine. And
Yeah.
so I went into that interview with that kind of mindset, and I think that's what really helped.
Yeah, so they're not trying to catch you out.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think so.
They're
I think
not.
they're just trying to
Yeah.
find. If you guys were to give one tip, because that's really what this is about, like how to prepare for your interview, what would be your tip that you'd give?
The first one is like research the university that you're going to like quite extensively. Like you might have interviews at multiple different places, and you don't want to have like the same, like go in with the same information to every different school, because every different school is different, like regarding their teaching style or special things that they might do. Like we were talking about it earlier, how like at Aberdeen you have the remote and rural rural program. And so they can ask you like about that, and like so I think for my on the station it was actually like, why would you specifically want to go
come
to
to
Aberdeen?
Or
So you-
whatever you need your plan
exactly.
to, yeah.
So it's good to know like all the specifics, ins and outs of the school. That way, like you'll be able to answer the questions when they ask you why Aberdeen and what are the specific aspects of the university that you think are, why you'd want to come there.
The
And what
pros.
makes the university stand out from the other ones.
Honestly,
You're trying to stroke their ego, they're gonna know. You can't be like, oh, because it's a renowned university.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They're gonna be like, nah. Try
Even though
again.
that's a good. I
You gotta do
actually had
better.
I had statistics. I was like, I
Okay,
was ready. I had statistics. But then I thought about it. I was like, it's better to be specific with like the
Right.
going to Inverness, like the rural
Yeah.
area we're talking about, rather than saying, oh yeah, your number this. Like anyway, but yeah.
But in terms of reading your personal statement, like we're saying, for some universities like Aberdeen, there was a station dedicated to that, and those are bonus marks because you've written the personal statement. It's about you, and then that even sounds, you sound more confident and more confident because it's what you've done.
Yeah.
But sometimes because you've written your personal statement a long time ago,
You forget
you
about
might
things.
forget. And
Yeah.
at least those are easy
Marks that you can get.
easy
Yeah.
marks to get. And back to what you're saying about doing your research about the university. Like a lot of universities have like the format of the interview, MMI, it's going to last so minutes. Yeah, definitely. Don't underestimate the power of actually researching.
I would say practice. It's kind of difficult because you don't want to come off rehearsed when you're there, like you're just reading off a script.
Yeah.
But at the same time, kind of what we were talking about before with like that GMC thing. You don't want it to be. You want to.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the most important thing you're like right now.
You don't want it to be thrown off balance. And so for me, it was a big thing for me to practice as much as I could, because then it would mean that a lot of the questions I'd already kind of prepared.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be asking you about teamwork, the qualities of the
Definitely.
doctor,
Absolutely.
your work
Communication,
experience,
all that.
communication, exactly all of that kind of stuff. So you can get ahead and start preparing for that now, especially for an MMI interview. You've only got a set number of minutes to kind of get your point across. You need to be slick, and you need to be slick. You need to be on it, and then if you can practice with a medical professional, all the better, because they know what to look for.
Yeah.
But don't feel like you have to.
have it
Yeah.
rehearsed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because honestly, it would just be like you're just reciting to them. If it's literally coming very structured, yes, practice it. Just because, and again, you know how practicing it. Don't say practice it in your head.
No.
Say it.
You need to
Open your
verbalize
mouth.
it.
Open your mouth and say
Yeah.
it. Because it's easy or easier to like just say, oh, this is what I'm gonna say in my head. But unless you actually
Just
practice
say
it,
yeah.
and it's not even just medical school interview.
Any interview.
It's a good idea.
And
Yeah.
I'll also quickly just add, practice it smiling when you say it.
True.
That's a good
As
idea.
silly as that
Yeah.
sounds, true.
That's
I
actually a
agree.
good idea.
It'll make you sound more like relaxed and more.
That's actually a good idea.
But I feel like also know the
When
moment,
something is
like,
serious.
if
No,
they're
no,
asking a serious
yeah.
question,
They
yeah.
ask you about
And they're
euthanasia or
like,
something, and your spouse says suicide and you're smiling.
And you're like, I don't agree.
Not appropriate.
And sorry, one last thing. Practice it. Practice it timed.
Oh yeah.
So time it. So especially
Ooh, wow, I
again
didn't
for
do
the
that.
MMI,
Right.
because you've got 5 minutes or 7 minutes or however long. Make sure that you can get the points you want to get across
in
that
that
time.
specific time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have an interview where it's an MMI like Aberdeen and there's stations, please, like if one station doesn't go as well as it. Funny thing is, it might actually have gone well, but just because you're thinking about it, if you think it hasn't gone well, honestly, just forget about it and go to the next one. Because if you keep thinking about that, that's going to affect the next station and affect the next station. So just forget about it, go on to the next one, because funny enough, you might have done better. So my final tip that I would probably just use to close off is definitely try to have a question ready to like ask them. So every interview, whether it's a medical school interview or it's a job interview, they tend to ask you, do you have any questions for us at the end of the interview? And as much as like you might not really have an really have a question, try to prepare a question beforehand. And please don't try and make it like, don't let it be a silly question that's something very obvious that they put on the website, because
something
it shows
you've already mentioned
yeah,
that you
because,
should know.
yeah, because it shows that you haven't either paid attention or researched
Or you weren't
as you
listening.
should, or you weren't listening. So even if it's something that's on there, for example, me, they were talking about like the assessment styles and what they generally do throughout the years. I read it, but I didn't really understand it. And I just thought that would be a good question. So when he asked me, do you have any questions? I literally said, well, I've read this, which showed that I did a bit of research. And at the same time, I was a bit inquisitive as to like, you know, more about the university, which then made it seem like I was interested. I really wanted to come to this university, which I did. So yeah, just make sure you have a question, whatever. Make sure you have a question ready for them. If you have an MMI, I was just gonna add, and you've answered all the questions the interviewers asked you, just try and
Make
have a conversation.
I was about to say that's what I did with one of mine, and it really helped to ease the tension, and it even made me less nervous. Definitely.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It was something simple like
silence.
like what they did.
Yeah.
Like,
Or I'm here for such a time, or I'm gonna do it for the next few interviews.
Yeah.
Just simple things. Or where have you come from today?
Yeah.
Oh, I've travelled from Leicester, or whatever the case might be.
It just
Absolutely.
calms your nerves.
Yeah, it just occurred to me when I came to the Aberdeen interview, and they're so lovely. And they were basically just, I think, whichever you need to get an interview for, make sure you go onto their website, because they will kind of lay out you what to expect. So for Aberdeen,
Basically.
they laid out like all their stations. You could kind of see the theme in the information pages on the website. So do that and try and pick out the themes, and then prepare your practice around those themes.
All the best, those of you who have
Good
interviews.
luck.
Bye. Oh,
You got it.
you'll be good. I don't know what that was. But anyway.
Anyway, I think that's all done.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.
Share,
Bye.
comment, subscribe. Subscribe to Bernie's channel, people.
Yes, we're almost at 500 subscribers.
Giveaway.
Subscribe and share.
Do you know what,
Share it with
actually?
your friends.
I was thinking of doing a giveaway with that interview book.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We've got 3 books that we're going to do a giveaway on. So if
Yeah.
you guys want it, just keep an eye out for the next video. Anyway, guys, we've talked about too much, but anyway, we'll see you in my next video. Bye.